And we are back as the days get longer, the temperatures begin to warm up, but it's the perfect time to start about thinking think about drinking some refreshing spring cocktails that actually capture the spirit of the season. There's a plethora of cocktail options perfectly suited to springtime, and here now to share more information is the Master Distiller at Bombay Sapphire, Dr. Ann Brock. And Dr. Ann, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Tis the season. Tis the season. How's it going for you?
It's good. It's good. How are you?
It's good. It's good. It's good. So tell me now. I mean, the seasons are changing. Things are happening. Things are starting to warm up, and people are really looking for that right now drink. And you've got a couple out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got some great suggestions. So we're seeing across the board that classic cocktails are having a resurgence. And as you mentioned, the temperatures are warming up. We've made it through winter. So people's tastes are turning towards something a bit brighter, a bit fresher, maybe citrusy. So I can highly recommend either a martini or a French 75. They're both going down a storm right now. They also both my favorite cocktails. And they both work really well with a bright, vibrant gin such as Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah. And so for yourself, talk to me about what are you seeing out there? You got a first-hand view. What are you seeing in terms of like some possible trends that people are ordering in terms of this season?
Absolutely. Like I said, the classics. It's all about the classic cocktails. So your Negronis, your martinis, your Tom Collinses, French 75s. They're all gin cocktails that have been around for an age, but work really, really well in this nice weather. They lend themselves perfectly to that aperitivo moment.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Ed, you are known as a master distiller. What exactly is a master distiller?
So my role is to lead the team of distillers here in our distillery in Hampshire in the south of England. We're just outside London. We make Bombay Sapphire for the world. So my title's master is because I'm responsible for the quality and the production of every drop of Bombay Sapphire that goes out into the world for our customers to enjoy.
So you're the one in charge is what you're trying to say. I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, talk to me about this because you got something coming up, and you got a newly launched. It's called Bombay Sapphire Premier Cru. Got my attention because you got a little Spain in there.
It does, yes. We've tried to bottle up a particular region of Spain. So all the citrus, all the lemons that go into Bombay Sapphire come from Murcia, which is an old city in Spain. It's right by the sea and it's surrounded by mountains. And it's a really beautiful part of Spain and it's very famous for its citrus. And we work directly with the growers and harvesters there. So they hand harvest all our lemons, they hand peel them, and all the lemon peels dried in the sunshine under the Spanish sun. So it's a really lovely process and it's a beautiful part of the world. So what we were wanting to do with Bombay Sapphire Premier Cru was to tell that story and bring Murcia to the world so everyone can understand how great the citrus is from there and the care and attention that the growers and harvesters we work with go to get us the best of the very best. And we've chosen a late harvest of Fino lemons and we've paired them with mandarin and sweet navel orange to create a bold but balanced, very citrusy gin.
How long did it take to put this all together?
Oh, well, if you want to talk about how long it took to set the relationships up with the growers, we're talking 20 odd years. But if we're talking about just the creation of the liquid in the bottle, then we actually developed it during the recent pandemic. So it took probably a little longer than it would have been because it wasn't quite so easy to collaborate. But it took between 9 months and a year for us to really get the liquid that we were wanting and the gin that we tasting the way we wanted it to taste.
And so as you look to this season, talk to me about what are some of the best tips that we can have for making those good drinks during a time like this?
I think if you're at home and you want to make cocktails for your friends, I always say keep it simple. There's nothing worse than having a complicated drinks menu, so you're focusing all your time on making drinks and not on your guests. So my go-to is always the French 75. It's Bombay Sapphire Premier Cru shaken up with fresh lemon juice and sugar syrup over ice. Strain it into a champagne flute, top up with sparkling wine or champagne. So super quick to make, tastes delicious, and it turns every moment into a celebration. I highly recommend it.
Wow. So, are you excited for this time of year? I mean, obviously, the weather's changing, spring's out there, and for you, an opportunity to come forth with Bombay Sapphire and then some.
I love this time of year. I'm not somebody who appreciates the winter at all. So springtime, when the daffodils are out and the tulips are coming through, and when you can sit in that spring warm sun in the garden with a gin and tonic in hand, or a Bombay Sapphire Premier Cru French 75, it's really my favorite time of the year, with all the hope of summer ahead of you.
Well, I want to ask, I've asked the question about, tips about making drinks. Give me something about the mistakes that people make, because people do try to make drinks and they mess it up. So what are some do not do's for people in this time?
Well, I always say, one of the things we're really lucky with in this world is we have the internet. And there are a lot of very talented bartenders out there who put their recipes online. And in fact, you can go to bombaysapphire.com, our website. We've got hundreds of cocktail recipes on there. Now, follow the recipe. Don't try and be creative first time round. There's a reason why those measurements are there in the recipe. It's because it works. So follow the recipe, make sure you have great ice, and chill your glass. And you shouldn't go too far wrong.
Well, I want to let you know it's been great having you, Dr. Anna. We appreciate you coming on, talk a little bit about Bombay Sapphire, and then also getting us ready for the season. I think there are a lot of people out there who just couldn't wait for this time of year because, the drinks change, but then the weather changes, and it really is an opportunity for people to really tap in on this, some great items. At the same time, also a great time to perfect their craft and get ready for the spring drinking season, if you will. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. We remember she is the Master Distiller, which means she is in charge, y'all. All right. Want to let you know for more information, go ahead and visit her at the website, bombaysapphire.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open coming up right after this.